Hey gang, Bronco Carl 92 here. So it's Saturday, September 21st, and I'm going to replace the rear brakes on a 2007 GMC Yukon Denali. Alright, so we got the car up on safety stands.
What you said? That's noise.
I got my little helper out here tonight. Let's see, we'll get you set up over here so you can see what's going on. Alright, so we got these, this car's got 62,000 miles on it, I think. And the rear brakes are totally original on this. The reason why I'm replacing them is I was changing the tires last week. And although the pads still have some material left on them, the inside surface of the rotor, this one's not as bad as the other side, but there's only about, see the shiny contact surface, there's only a portion of it that's working, and the rest of it's just a big piece of rust. So since the other side's worse, I'll show you that once I get the rotors off. But anyway, I got to take these clips off and remove the caliper bracket. And get the pads out, and then pull the rotor off. So let me get these clips off, and we'll get the rotor off, or get the caliper off and the rotor off. Alright, so pull these off. I'm not going to put them back on. They only put these on at the factory so the rotors don't fall off, I guess. I don't know how they would. I guess it's so the rotors don't fall off before they put the calipers on. So off, and my little helper says he's got to go to the bathroom, so we go take care of him and we'll be back. Alright, so first thing I do is I take a little pry bar and I just stick it in here just to relax the caliper. Normally I would go in through here, but there's no hole there, so now I cracked the bolts loose on the caliper bracket because they were extremely tight, and I had to see what bolts they were. So this caliper pin here is a 20 millimeter. I can't remember the last time I used that wrench. And the holding bolt is a 13. Same thing on the bottom. Bolts off. That caliper's made of aluminum. Put the caliper up there. Never let it hang. Our pads are just about done. Okay, that one's not too bad, but you can see already right here, there's the pad's not actually cutting into the rotor at all. And once I have the rotor off, you'll see what I mean. Also take notice that the wear clip is on the outside. They use Loctite on these bolts, so they're stiff coming out. So I'll put some, oh, there's a nice shot on my knee there, sorry about that. Anyway, I was saying there's Loctite on these threads. So we'll put some new red Loctite on there before we put them back in. Of course, the rotor's just not going to pop off. So GM, in their wisdom, has these nice holes, just like Honda. That's a couple of bolts. And buzz these up for the gun. Now, the parking brake is in here. Make sure the parking brake is on when you do this, otherwise you'll wreck the parking brake. If you look on the rotor here, you can see right here the pad's not touching. Hang on a second, buddy. So what we need to do is we're going to replace these rotors anyway because they got 60,000 on them and they kind of wobble a little bit. So all right, let me take care of my friend and I'll put you back on in a second. All right, so oh, that's heavy. Here's our replacement GM rotor. Emergency brake looked good, so no need to fuss with that. Alright, remember what I was saying in another video about cleaning this place? Well, it took me literally 10 minutes to find this. Unbelievable. So now these clips I'm going to change, so it's just easier to leave them on there for now. Since the mating surface of the pads is on those clips, I don't sandblast the brackets because, as you can see, they're kind of painted. They're not rusty, they're just kind of dirty. I guess when we clean the wheels the next time, that'll clean up. Okay, so just take the new clips, just pop them in place. No big deal. so there's our outer pad with the clip, and there's the inner pad. These are ceramic pads. That's what they recommend for this model since it's all-wheel drive. Notice I said all-wheel drive, not four-wheel drive. What's all-wheel drive mean? It means it sucks twice as much gas as the same truck with a selectable transfer case, but that's the only way this truck comes. Or at least this truck, when it was used, we didn't have really a choice in that. And I'm not sure this pad isn't popping into place. There we go. All right. On the caliper, piston may not be in 100%. A pair of big channel locks. Let's give that a squeeze. And we're good. That's interesting. What's that all about? Now that's very strange. That may explain why the brakes were funny. Because, look at this. Okay, looks like I have to talk to George about something now. So we had brake pads put on this thing because they were squeaking. And it looks like the wear clip is actually supposed to go on the inside because this little nub here has dug into the piston here where it shouldn't have. And the outside pad has these nubs that dug into here where they're not supposed to. So let's swap these pads around. Notice that because the caliper wouldn't fit. That makes plenty of sense now. You know, I hate taking this thing to the dealer for anything. I tell you, the hood's got a dent in it, and the roof has a dent in it. This thing was there a couple of months ago for shifting problem, which it still has. They told me it needed transcooler lines. Okay, so anyway, they had the truck for like 3 or 4 days to put that in, and when we got it back, the hood's got a kink in it where it looks like someone shut the hood with the tool on the fender. Nice. And the roof's got a dent in it. It looks like someone put a car down next to it with the door open. So, of course, I didn't notice that until, I don't know, a couple weeks after we got it back from the dealer, you know. But no one else works on this truck except for me. And, the only thing I've ever done under the hood of this thing is I've changed the oil a couple of times. And to change the oil on it, you don't need any tools under the hood. So it couldn't have been me. So, anyway, but this whole brake pad thing here kind of upsets me now, so see what he has to say about that. Alright, I'm going to throw the wheel on, get the other side apart, and we'll take a look at that rotor. Alright, so check this out. This side's put together wrong too. You can see right here, this little nub is not allowing the caliper to actually sit flat on the brake pad. And if you look down there, you can even see there's an air gap between the pad and the caliper. Nice work, guys. Let me get this rotor off and I'll show you what it looks like. Yep, and just like the other side, this piston's got a dinger in it here too from that pin sticking out. So essentially, with putting pressure on the lower point of the pad, it was actually wearing crooked. So basically the top of it was probably not even touching. And when you see what the inside of this rotor looks like, you understand what that can cause. All right, here's our right side rear rotor. Notice it's a good, I don't know, 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch of no contact surface. The pad even looks crooked. So much for trusting the dealer. Such a shame. Anyhow, let me get this side buttoned up, and we'll put you back on in a sec. All right, finally, we're gonna work our wheels. 140 foot-pounds. Okay, so listen, I took a closer look at the pads, and I think I figured out what this guy did when he worked on this thing. So anyway, we had a brake squeal complaint. So it seems what he did was he took the pads off, if I remember correctly, and he chamfered them. This is the one I took off the outside. If you look carefully, you can actually see the piston was touching here at one time. So when he put the pads back on, he must have put them on, you know, obviously on the wrong spots. Now, I know that brake pads and rotors, when you take brake pads off, they have to go back in the same position. And from what I remember, you're not supposed to use old pads with new rotors. Okay, so from what I remember, you're not supposed to use a new rotor with old pads. You can use new pads on an old rotor, but not the other way around because of the way the pad seats. At least that's what they say at the OE that I work with. Now, the other thing too is you can totally see how crooked that pad's sitting now from that one and that one. They both were wearing completely wrong because of the way they were put in. So, I mean, normally I'm not the type of guy that that's gonna, you know, complain about a dealer and stuff, but you know, after the 2 dings in the car, and you know, I was gonna let that go because there's not really any way I could prove that they did it. But let me show you this one I got here in the roof. So the paint's broken. Metal obviously did that. And you know, I didn't drop anything on this thing, and we never take this thing to an automatic car wash. So I mean, it could have happened from a stick, but I don't think a stick would dig the paint out like that. And then the other thing I have going, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. But right here, I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, right there, the hood's pushed up. To me, it looks like someone left some tools on the fender and closed the hood. So anyway, I'm gonna go talk to the guy at the dealer about it, and he's probably gonna, you know, start arguing with me and stuff, and that's probably the last time we'll ever go there. But our warranty's just about done anyway, so there's always customer service, I guess, that I can call. So anyhow, enough rambling. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you maybe later on. Take care.